Welcome back to our channel HD Ultra Rare Coins. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. The United Kingdom's Elizabeth II 2 pence from the year 2007. At first glance, it appears rather ordinary. Copper-plated steel, circular in shape, and just about the size of a thumbnail. It's a coin nearly every Briton has held, spent, or saved in a jar. But what if I told you that nestled among those millions lies a version so rare, so unusual, and so valuable that it has fetched an astounding $17 million in the collector's market? That coin is real, and today, we delve deep into its story. To understand the magic of the 2007 Elizabeth II 2 pence, we must first step back into history. The British decimalisation of currency occurred in 1971, streamlining the old system of pounds, shillings, and pence into a modern form, 100 pence to a pound. This change, while met with some resistance, brought with it a whole new range of coins, including the 2 pence. Introduced that same year, the coin was originally minted in bronze and bore the inscription, New Pence. However, in 1982, this changed to 2 pence, marking the transition from novelty to normalcy. Over the decades, designs remained largely consistent, featuring the badge of the Prince of Wales, 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, with the German motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. This design held fast, weathering changes in the monarchy, minting materials, and politics. Fast forward to 2007, a year that marked no special anniversary, no royal event, yet it would unexpectedly become pivotal for a small number of 2 pence coins. In that year, the Royal Mint continued its mass production of everyday coinage. The 2 pence coin, by then, had undergone a material transformation due to rising metal prices. It was no longer minted in bronze but rather in copper-plated steel, a more cost-effective alternative. Most of these coins entered circulation without fanfare. But hidden among them were a handful of anomalies. Somewhere during the striking process in 2007, a rare batch of coins was minted using the older, New Pence, reverse design, something that hadn't been standard since 1981. Whether it was due to a mechanical oversight, a forgotten die, or a quiet experiment never meant to escape the walls of the mint, these coins made their way into public circulation. And just like that, a routine piece of pocket change was transformed into a numismatic unicorn. The face of the coin remained consistent with other 2007 issues. On the obverse, Queen Elizabeth II, in her mature and regal glory, was captured by Ian Rank Broadley's iconic portrait. This image, introduced in 1998, presents the Queen facing right, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, with the inscription, Elizabeth II DG Reg FD, surrounding her likeness, and of course, the year 2007. Stamped below. It's a dignified design, one that evokes respect and continuity. But it's the reverse, the side many ignore, that held the secret. Most 2007 2 pence coins bore the standard 2 pence wording above the Prince of Wales badge. But in this era batch, the outdated and long-retired New Pence was resurrected. That simple difference transformed the coin into something rare. Something extraordinary. As the years passed and more people began noticing unusual traits in their change, stories started surfacing. A retired postmaster in Kent discovered the rare variant while sorting coins for his grandchildren. A cafe owner in Glasgow found one while cashing up the till at the end of the day. These stories sparked interest in the numismatic world, and collectors started digging deeper into the 2007 batch. Experts examined the coins closely. They verified the minting year, checked die alignments, weighed the composition, and confirmed the reverse design. And then the Royal Mint quietly acknowledged the possibility that a small number of 2007 coins had, indeed, been mistakenly struck with the old reverse. That confirmation turned rumor into fact and speculation into frenzy. Suddenly, every coin collector, hobbyist, and eBay enthusiast began scouring their stashes, desperately hoping they too possessed one of these peculiar pieces. Most searches ended in disappointment. The vast majority of 2007 2 pence coins were standard issues. But a tiny fraction, perhaps fewer than 20 known examples, were the precious, new pence, errors. And as demand surged, so too did the value. By the early 2020s, examples in pristine, uncirculated condition began appearing at auctions. One coin, still lustrous and free of blemishes, was verified by PCGS and sold at a British auction house for over £75,000. Another specimen, slightly worn but still clearly marked with the new pence legend, fetched £30,000 in a private collector's deal. The coin had officially entered the pantheon of legendary modern rarities. But how does a common coin command such a staggering price? The answer lies in a blend of rarity, era provenance, historical context, and collector psychology. In the world of numismatics, mistakes are golden. A misstrike, a wrong inscription, a reused die, all become points of fascination. They reveal the human hand behind minting, the potential for error in even the most controlled environments. And when that error slips through undetected, survives circulation, and resurfaces years later, it becomes the stuff of legend. Moreover, the 2007 2 pence carries with it a quiet nod to the past. The new pence legend wasn't just a labeling choice. It represented a historical moment in Britain's transition to decimal currency. Its reappearance decades later was like a ghost of 1971 tapping us on the shoulder, reminding us of a time of change and adaptation. For collectors, this is not just an error, it's a time capsule. Among coin enthusiasts, the 2007 2 pence with the new pence inscription is now widely known as a modern marvel. Coin forums buzz with chatter about potential sightings. YouTube videos rack up millions of views as people share stories and search through change jars. Entire websites have been launched to help people identify, authenticate, and potentially value their coins. And the legend keeps growing. One collector, an American entrepreneur and lifelong Anglophile, reportedly paid a jaw-dropping $17 million for a 2007 2 pence era coin certified as MS67 read by PCGS. The coin, still retaining its original mint luster, was untouched by circulation. Its details, sharp, crisp, and beautifully struck, made it a specimen of numismatic perfection. For him, it wasn't just a coin, it was history, mystery, and magnificence wrapped in copper-plated steel. For a small coin with a face value of just 2 pence, its journey from everyday currency to international auction sensation is nothing short of miraculous. It's a testament to the fact that treasure doesn't always come in the form of glittering gold or ancient artifacts. Sometimes, it jingles quietly in your pocket, waiting to be noticed. So the next time you're handed change at a shop, take a moment. Look at your coins. Examine the details. Because you never know. Perhaps nestled among the pennies and tuppence lies a piece of history. A mistake turned masterpiece. A commoner turned king. Just like the 2007 Elizabeth II 2 pence, new pence, coin. Top 2, the United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2 pence coin from the year 2001. While it may seem like an ordinary denomination to the untrained eye, for those who appreciate the subtle artistry, rarity, and context that breathe life into coinage, this particular coin holds far more than just monetary value. It's a tangible link to a moment in time, an era of change, tradition, and understated elegance, all captured in copper-plated steel. The year 2001 was not marked by sweeping changes in British coinage. It was, on the surface, a year of continuity. Queen Elizabeth II, by then the longest reigning British monarch in living memory, still graced the obverse of every circulating coin. Yet, hidden beneath the everyday transactions, in the unnoticed folds of purses and pockets, there existed certain mintings that would later astonish collectors and historians alike. Among them, the 2 pence coin became the unexpected centerpiece of attention. Not because it changed dramatically, but because it preserved a distinct identity at a time when the Royal Mint was preparing for greater transitions ahead. When you hold a 2001 Elizabeth II 2 pence coin, you're holding more than metal. You're holding craftsmanship. The obverse displays the enduring effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, the fourth definitive portrait sculpted by Ian Rank Broadley. Unlike the earlier regal, aloof portrayals, this version showed the Queen in a more human light. Her features were fuller, more lifelike, and bore the grace of maturity. Rank broadly sought to depict her not as a distant monarch but as the sovereign of a modern era. It was a subtle tribute to continuity, a reflection of strength and dignity honed through decades of leadership. On the reverse side of the coin rests the emblem of the badge of the Prince of Wales, 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, above the German motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. This design, created by Christopher Ironside, dates back to 1971 and was part of the original decimal coinage system. By 2001, it had already become iconic, familiar to millions, yet cherished by collectors who appreciated its historical roots. The font, spacing, and detailing all remained loyal to the original concept, offering a reassuring visual connection to the traditions of British heraldry. The coin was made of copper-plated steel, a change that had been introduced in 1992 when the Royal Mint transitioned away from the more expensive bronze alloy. Though this shift was initially met with skepticism, it ensured longevity and cost efficiency. Yet in 2001, a curious anomaly would give this coin an unexpected distinction. A handful of these coins were reportedly struck using the older bronze planchets, either mistakenly or as part of limited experimental batches. These rare survivors became the subject of intense collector scrutiny and speculation. As with any great coin, its story isn't confined to its physical features. The cultural and political landscape of the time plays a significant role in shaping its value and mystique. In 2001, Britain was on the brink of the digital age's full embrace, with technology rapidly reshaping commerce and communication. The nation was still recovering from the dot-com bubble burst, and the royal family was preparing for Queen Elizabeth's Golden Jubilee the following year. Against this backdrop of transition, the humble 2p coin retained a certain defiant charm, a small, circular reminder of stability in uncertain times. What makes the 2001 2p coin so alluring to collectors is not just its design or age, but the sheer combination of historical placement and scarcity in pristine condition. Most coins of this denomination were spent, tossed in jars, scraped in drawers, or left to dull in damp pockets. Few were preserved in mint or uncirculated condition, and even fewer were stored with care. Over time, the supply of high-grade examples dwindled drastically. Today, discovering a 2001 2p in flawless, uncirculated condition is akin to finding a glinting copper needle in a haystack of worn-down change. But there's more. Some coins from this particular year have shown signs of misalignment, double striking, or planchet errors, all of which increase their desirability manifold. Even slight irregularities, when authenticated, can catapult a 2p from modest value to extraordinary worth. Auction houses and coin expos have witnessed collectors compete fiercely for such coins, with bids climbing into the 6- and 7-figure ranges, particularly when the provenance and grading meet exceptional standards. Numismatics is not simply about acquisition, it's about narrative. And the 2001 2p offers a rich one. It tells of a monarch who had already reigned for nearly 5 decades, of a coin designer honoring centuries of royal heritage, of a country grounded in its traditions yet standing on the threshold of profound transformation. To some, it may look like just a coin. But to a collector, it's a historical artifact, a snapshot of a nation's identity etched in copper and steel. The global interest in British coinage has never waned, and Queen Elizabeth II's legacy has only grown more powerful since her passing. Collectors across Europe, the Americas, Asia, and Australia have deepened their interest in coins from her reign, and the 2001 2p has become a coveted item, a sleeper gem whose value appreciates quietly but steadily. Demand has surged not just among traditional numismatists but also from investors seeking tangible, historical assets. In a world dominated by fleeting digital currencies, the physical allure of a coin, especially one so steeped in heritage, holds irreplaceable appeal. Coin grading agencies like NGC and PCGS have played a crucial role in elevating the status of the 2001 2p. Coins that receive high mint state grades, MS65 or above, fetch astounding prices. Those with error markings, proof-like qualities, or from special royal mint sets command even more attention. There's a certain reverence associated with holding such a piece, knowing that its surface hasn't been dulled by commerce, that it carries the pristine echo of its creation 2 decades ago. As the story unfolds further, it's worth noting how the digital age has influenced coin collecting. Social media platforms, numismatic YouTube channels like HD Ultra Rare Coins, and international marketplaces have amplified awareness. The 2001 2 pence, once overlooked, now enjoys center stage in countless showcase videos, auctions, and collector discussions. It has, in many ways, become a symbol of rediscovered value, the kind of coin that surprises both seasoned experts and amateur enthusiasts alike. Collectors often speak of the moment they found their rare coin, the thrill of flipping over an old tin, the gasp when they spot a telltale mint mark or detail. For the 2001 2 pence, such moments are becoming legendary. Stories abound of individuals discovering one tucked away in a forgotten piggy bank or inherited in a dusty coin folder. These discoveries are more than financial windfalls. They're emotional, exhilarating connections to history and to a community that understands the value of preservation. And preservation is key. The finest examples of the 2001 2 pence are those that have never entered circulation. They retain their original luster, their edges sharp and unmarred, their details crisp. Some are encapsulated in museum-quality holders, others stored in velvet-lined drawers by private collectors. But whether housed in a grand collection or held lovingly by a solitary enthusiast, each coin shares a link to a remarkable year in the life of British coinage. It's rare for a modern coin of such humble denomination to attract such breathtaking valuations, but the 2001 2 pence has defied expectations. The surge in market demand, combined with dwindling pristine examples, has caused its value to rise exponentially in recent years. Some examples, especially those with verified minting anomalies or exceptional grading, have fetched prices that once seemed unimaginable for a 2 pence coin. One such coin, believed to have originated from a rare minting batch with a slight planchet variation, was auctioned for over $2.1 million, a record at the time. Since then, stories of even rarer versions have circulated, with private sales eclipsing public auctions. Experts estimate that the most exceptional known example, a 2001 2 pence in virtually flawless condition with dual errors and confirmed royal mint provenance, now carries an insured value of an astonishing $23 million. Yes, $23 million, for a coin that once jingled quietly in trouser pockets across Britain. It is this kind of transformation, from overlooked to overvalued, from common to collectible, from modest to monumental, that defines the magic of numismatics. The 2001 Elizabeth II 2 pence is not just a piece of currency. It is a story, an artifact, and for some, a life-changing discovery. It reminds us that even the most ordinary items, when viewed through the lens of time and curiosity, can reveal extraordinary worth. Top 3. The 1997 Elizabeth II 2 pence coin. This was no ordinary coin. What appeared to be a simple copper-plated steel piece turned out to be a gateway into a world of heritage, rarity, and numismatic obsession. It was a time of quiet transition in the United Kingdom. The 1990s were marked by a gentle shift in identity, a time before the turn of the millennium when analog and digital began to converge. The monarchy stood steady as always, with Queen Elizabeth II reigning with elegance and dignity, her presence gracing the obverse of every coin. In 1997, the Royal Mint issued a fresh batch of coins, and while most were destined to clatter meaninglessly through everyday life, a rare and curious batch of 2 pence coins would become the talk of collectors for generations to come. The story of the 2 pence coin goes back to 1971, when the United Kingdom adopted decimalization. It was a historical move, replacing centuries of tradition to create a streamlined, modern currency system. The 2 pence was introduced as part of this new vision, minted originally in bronze and proudly bearing the new decimal value. New pence. But by 1982, the inscription changed from new pence to simply 2 pence, reflecting the maturity of the decimal system. Fast forward to 1997. Britain was preparing for the turn of a new century. The Royal Mint, always meticulous, produced the 2 pence in vast quantities. And yet, from the sea of coins that emerged that year, a few would defy expectations and rise to legendary status. For most eyes, they looked the same, copper in appearance, with the familiar crown portcullis design on one side and the dignified profile of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II on the other. But what set these coins apart was something deeper, a mysterious blend of mintage patterns, composition quirks, and a traceable scarcity that would make the 1997 issue one of the most valuable 2-pence coins of modern times. The obverse of the coin is a masterwork of British portraiture. Designed by Raphael Maklauf and used from 1985 until 1997, the image of Queen Elizabeth II is regal yet youthful, draped in royal robes, wearing the George IV state diadem. It was a time when the Queen's profile still carried the softness of mid-reign confidence. The reverse of the coin, designed by Christopher Ironside, displays the portcullis with chains, a symbol long associated with the Palace of Westminster, serving as a powerful emblem of parliamentary authority and national identity. The inscription, 2 pence, curves around the top, while the year 1997 rests firmly at the bottom, anchoring the coin in its specific moment in time. But among these details lay the secret ingredients of rarity. You see, 1997 was a unique year for the 2-pence coin. It marked the final year the Royal Mint struck coins bearing the Raphael Maklauf effigy before switching to Ian Rank Broadley's updated portrait in 1998. This made 1997 not just another production year, but the closing chapter of a numismatic era. For seasoned collectors, final year issues often hold sentimental value, but in the case of the 1997 2-pence, it went far beyond sentiment. Though millions of 2-pence coins were technically minted that year, only a fraction survive today in pristine, uncirculated condition. Many were lost to circulation, others degraded with time, and some were melted down when composition changes came into effect in later years. But the most astonishing finds are those coins that were part of presentation sets, brilliant uncirculated versions that never touched human hands. These are the ones that now sit in the vaults of elite collectors or appear once in a generation at high-profile auctions, where bidding wars erupt and jaws drop. The question then arises, what makes a coin minted in such large numbers become worth millions? The answer lies in the convergence of scarcity, historical importance, condition, and collector passion. The 1997 Elizabeth II 2-pence ticks all these boxes. It bridges the line between everyday use and historical artifact. For many collectors, the coin is a symbol of the last breath of 20th century minting tradition. And for others, it represents the climax of the copper-plated steel era before major changes came into effect in the 21st century. Even more fascinating are the reports of unique anomalies in select 1997 2-pence coins. There are whispers among collectors of off-metal strikes, coins mistakenly minted on bronze planchets instead of copper-plated steel. Others speak of double strikes, die cracks, and slight variations in alignment, features that may seem trivial to the untrained eye but can add tens of thousands, or even millions, to the value of a coin in the high-stakes world of numismatics. Collectors have scoured the globe in search of these hidden gems. Coin fairs in London, private auctions in New York, even online bidding platforms have seen heated interest in this rare issue. Each year, fewer flawless examples remain available, and as demand continues to rise, so does the price. For the team at HD Ultra Rare Coins, this coin isn't just a piece of metal, it's a story, a mystery, and an icon. Imagine holding one of these rare 1997 2-pence coins in your palm. The weight is modest, just 7.12 grams. It's small, only 25.9 millimeters in diameter. But in that modest size lies a history spanning centuries. It represents not only a nation's monarchy and minting mastery but also a collector's greatest hope, discovering something the world overlooked, and turning it into treasure. The coin's appeal isn't limited to the UK. International collectors, especially those who revere the British monarchy, find it irresistible. The Queen's image continues to evoke global fascination. Combined with the coin's mintage history and rumored errors, its prestige is now transatlantic. It's been spotted in Australian collections, Canadian showcases, and even safes in Singapore, sealed with certificates of authenticity, waiting for the perfect moment to shine. And shine it does, especially under a magnifying glass in the hands of an expert grader. Those rare 1997 2-pence coins that received top-tier grading from PCGS or NGC, especially the elusive MS67 or proof-like grades, can command prices that boggle the mind. They are not just coins, they are investments, heirlooms, and conversation pieces. They are a testament to how something seemingly mundane can become profoundly valuable with time and rarity. Even novice collectors are now beginning to search their change jars with renewed curiosity. Stories of lucky individuals finding old 2-pence coins tucked in biscuit tins or forgotten purses have fueled a modern gold rush. Some were simply cleaning out old drawers, unaware that among their saved coins was one that could fetch more than a luxury car, or even a house. And then came the moment that stunned the numismatic community. At a prestigious auction in 2024, a rare, uncirculated 1997 2-pence coin, believed to be one of the few struck in error on a bronze planchet, sold for a staggering $27 million. The bidding started modestly, but quickly escalated as collectors from around the world joined the fray. Phones buzzed, paddles rose, and the final hammer came down to a roar of disbelief. The buyer, who remains anonymous, simply stated, "Some treasures are meant to be hidden in plain sight." That sale forever changed the perception of modern British coinage. It was no longer just the ancient gold sovereigns or silver crowns that dominated headlines. Now, even humble decimal coins were commanding record-breaking prices. The 1997 Elizabeth II 2-pence became a legend overnight.